It's Happy Hour again from Uptown New Orleans. Hello, I'm Grant Morris. Happy Hour is part of the family of shows on the podcast network. It's neworleans.com. When you walk into a bar in New Orleans and you pull up a bar stool, you never know who's going to be sitting on either side of you. What you do know is no matter what they look like, what they're wearing, whether they just got out of a limousine or just got out of jail, they're going to be happy to talk to you because that's New Orleans and this is Happy Hour, a cocktail-fueled 60 minutes of random conversation with folks who have nothing in common. Other than we're all New Orleans in a bar. We're at the fabulous Wayfare today on Ferret Street, which is right by Napoleon Avenue. It's open every day, and they have an awesome happy hour here every day from 3 to 6 where you can get half-price drinks and half price on all the starters and bar fare, which people are indulging in right now at the bar, including us. We've actually got a free bottle of tequila on the table, thanks to Richard Pomes. Is that how I pronounce it?
Pomes, yeah.
Pomes, pretty close.
Nobody gets that right.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Well, I've got it written down here. It says pronounced Pomes.
Oh,
so that's how I got it right.
Excellent. Phonetically, you got a phonetic spelling
Our fantastic
there?
producer, Graham DePonte, hooked me up with that. Yeah, what do most people call you? Pomes?
Pomes or Poms?
Poms.
Which is very frustrating.
I'm pleased to meet you because
Poems is nice.
Poems is good. That's the voice of Julie Kane, who is a poet, actually. I'm going to tell you something. Julie, hi.
Hi.
Now you have to talk into that microphone.
All right.
You can look at me and talk into the microphone at the same time.
I don't know. That's two things at
I know.
once.
It's not easy to do. Do you know something about Julie? I'll tell you guys. Julie used to be, up until 2013, the Louisiana Poet Laureate.
Wow.
So just get a load of that.
Yes.
So that sort of puts you in your place, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
John Shirley is here from Cardinal Sons, and you're a lyricist.
I am. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So now we have a lyricist.
So you're a poet too.
I'm a poet.
Yeah.
Kind of knew it, but I'm in there. I'm in that game.
Yeah.
So how do you get to be the Poet Laureate?
That's a good question.
Well, only 1 minute into the show and I've already got a good question. Someone make note of
I
that.
got nominated, and I guess people wrote letters of support. And believe it or not, I was appointed by Bobby Jindal.
Whoa.
And many of my friends said it's the only thing he ever did in 8 years that they liked.
R.I.P. R.I.P. Bobby.
Yeah.
What is he doing now, Bobby? Are you keeping up with him?
No, I'm not. No.
You don't have any clue.
No.
The guy made you the Poet Laureate and you don't give a shit about
I
him?
guess, I should be ashamed.
Yes.
But I'm not.
You should be
You
in touch
didn't
with...
You didn't get his number after that ceremony, and
No.
Did you ever have his
text him from
number?
time to time.
No, I never did.
Did you have to write a poem about Bobby, you were so fine, or anything?
No,
like
but I had to do a 200th anniversary statehood bicentennial poem.
Okay,
Wow.
when was that?
Yeah,
that was
that
100
was
years ago. Aren't we up to the 300th? Isn't this the tricentennial coming up?
Yeah,
You're not that old, sure.
Of New Orleans.
Of New Orleans.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a different
But this
thing.
was the state.
Right.
State. Oh, yeah. I
The
thought
state
that
was
could point.
later.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got nothing.
Those dates don't add up.
Right.
So when was the 200th anniversary of Louisiana?
Somewhere between 2011 and 2013.
Somewhere while you were on the job.
That works.
So what happens?
Exactly.
Someone called you up from whatever department and says, "Hey,
Yeah.
listen,
Well, actually, it
Julie,
was,
are you busy?"
The Lake Charles city government decided to do, to commission it. So I did it for them.
What did it say? What was the opening line?
That's a
200 years.
That's a
Just
good
seems
question
like
because
yesterday.
it's the kind of subject that doesn't really inspire you right off the bat,
Mm-hmm.
and I had to find a way to kind of get emotionally attached to it to
Yeah,
write it. So
right.
I started doing some research about how Louisiana became a state, and I found out that the U.S. Congress didn't want Louisiana in the Union, because for one thing, because of all the people of color, here. Who could vote, and for another thing, because of all the foreign, speak all the foreign languages being spoken,
They
all
didn't want
immigrants.
Louisiana. If
And
only that
also-
we'd listened to
yeah.
Congress was right for once.
and Catholicism.
Catholicism
They were
was a no-no
afraid
as well.
that the Louisiana people would follow the Pope, and not the president. So
Wow.
once I understood that we were underdogs and they didn't want us, then it's
Yeah,
then
that's
I
a
could
good angle.
get my teeth
Yeah.
in it.
Yeah.
Maybe pirates too. Were they an issue?
Pirates.
Yeah, sure.
Can you remember how it went?
Oh God, I can't remember.
Can we Google it?
It's not. I don't think it's online. It's not one of my greatest hits, I'll tell you. But
That's the problem when you have. Were you getting paid for that? That's a paid gig,
I
so
did-
you have
I
to
did
do whatever
get,
they tell you.
I think $500 for it. Yeah,
That's
Not
it.
bad.
it was like 4 pages.
$500
long.
for the
It was-
poem, or
A
500.
4-page long poem.
Oh,
Wow.
You couldn't pay me enough to write 4 pages of anything.
500. I'll give you 500 right now.
Hell no.
I'll take it.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good for a starving musician, isn't it?
Yeah, you're
$500.
right about that.
Would you get paid
$500.
that for a night's gig? Just you
yeah.
personally?
Hell yeah. Come on, man.
Okay.
$500. Yeah.
Okay, so that's not so big of a deal for you then. How much would it what would it cost to get a poem out of you?
Oh man, a poem?
Yeah. Because
We're talking in the 4 digits here at least.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I would have to pay for the class to learn how to write poetry,
right.
and then
Oh,
come
then you have
back.
to come back, yeah.
So if you cover the cost of the class, maybe. You know.
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah.
How did you learn to write, John?
I didn't learn. I think I just kind of went for it.
Anybody can do it, right?
Well, sure.
Yeah.
Whether it's good or bad.
Yeah.
Anybody could be a poet,
Yeah.
right, Richard?
Yeah.
Could you write? Do you write poetry?
Anybody can be a poet, but can they be a good poet, right?
That's
I mean,
the
that's
question.
Well, do we know what?
therein lies the crux.
Well, do we know what good poetry is, though?
Oh, that's a whole
Now
other
we're
can
getting
of worms.
somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is good
What is art?
poetry?
I think
What is art?
I think
question.
I don't.
How
Yeah.
long is a piece of
Yeah.
string?
That's
Well,
the
Julie,
question.
what would you say good poetry is?
Oh, it's like saying what's good music. I mean, there's a whole spectrum.
Grateful Dead, do
From
you think that's good?
song lyrics, spoken word
I think it's a little
poetry.
subjective, right?
It's whatever you like. I think is good poetry.
It's like
Yeah.
art.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
anything about it, but I know what I like.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's it. So anybody could do it, but how did you get into it, actually?
I started when I was really little. When I was about 7 years old. As soon as I could kind of grip a pencil and print letters.
Well, how big
I
were
just
you at that
always,
point?
I always loved it. Well, normal
Normal size for
seven-year-old
a
size.
7-year-old? Okay.
Good answer.
I thought you might have been a midget earlier on or something. Okay. So you were a little child and you picked up a pencil and
I
decided...
always loved this stuff.
Oh, interesting.
Like in school, we'd get our English book the first day of class, and I'd take it home at night and I'd read all the poems in it. I didn't care about the stories but I just always really
You can
loved
remember that.
it. Yeah, yeah.
Can you, Richard, you remember anything of being 7? Where'd you grow up?
No, I grew up in Old Metairie.
Okay.
Um,
I'm sure you've blanked all that out.
You have no idea. I try to avoid it at all costs. What do I remember from 7? Toys, action figures, video games. I mean, like nerd stuff.
Right. Well, you're still wearing your DuckTales T-shirt.
This is true. I am wearing a DuckTales. I try to wear my DuckTales T-shirt for all media and press appearances and opportunities.
Yeah.
Because one guy, the sound guy, is like,
Thomas.
I know DuckTales. Yeah. One guy always gets it, or girl,
Dude,
one
of
person.
the greatest theme songs I think of any show. DuckTales.
How did it
And
go?
as a music writer, you
I-
can really appreciate it.
I can.
Yeah.
Does it have lyrics?
Yeah.
It does.
How did it go?
I don't want to sing
I don't
theme
either,
songs on
so
the air.
don't ask.
We're not going to pay anything for it. It's all right.
Yeah, that's true.
How's
It's a lot
What-
about getting in
what were the
adventures
lyrics?
and
The hook,
yeah.
the hook was just DuckTales, woo.
Yeah.
And there are other lyrics, but that hook over and over and over again
Right.
was just like, it's just as a kid standing up yelling at the TV.
Yeah,
you
and it's
know?
like 4 minutes long too.
Yeah.
It's no joke. It's
Yeah.
a true
Well,
intro.
That was the golden age of cartoon theme songs. 'Cause
Yeah.
you had Ninja Turtles and
Yep.
stuff like that. And at some point, we kind of lost those theme songs.
Yeah,
And back in the day, you'd also have fantastic sitcom theme songs too.
Yeah.
We've kind of gotten away from that because they're kind of cheesy.
Yeah.
Back in the day, the or even older, I guess, Mary Tyler Moore Show and stuff like
Yeah,
that. Where
yeah.
even as a kid watching Nick at Night, I would be singing those lyrics.
Totally.
Still know all this up to this day.
Yeah.
Laverne and Shirley.
Right.
Sorry, we're way off track here. I
No,
love
really.
old TV.
They were the. Do you spend a lot of
Gilligan's
time?
Island, my God.
Gilligan's Island,
But
yeah.
they were the days before you could fast forward through anything.
That's true.
You were
That's
trapped.
true.
And now on Netflix it says, "Do you want to skip the intro?"
Right, right.
It's like, yeah, okay, fine. Skip the intro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you watch a lot of TV, Richard? Is that
No,
what you're saying?
I don't have time anymore. Most of the stuff
Are you busy drinking?
I'm busy drinking. Yeah, I try to watch what I can, but it's very frustrating this day and age. Everybody's like, "Oh, did you see, the last episode of Mad Men?" Or it took me 6 years to watch Mad Men because I would watch an episode a month.
Yeah.
And
You're
finally
supposed
got
to
through
watch
the whole
them
thing.
all at once.
Right. Well, and now you have on Netflix, you have shows that all come out. They drop every episode on one night, right? And so everybody's like, "Oh yeah, just binge watch the whole thing in one day." And
That's
I'm
what
like,
I do.
"Well,
Don't you do that, Julie, as well?
Yes.
John,
yes.
you do that?
I have before.
Every single person
I never
does that
have,
now.
except me.
You've never done.
I don't
What?
have time. No, the most I've
No,
done.
no
is,
one has time, but you end up doing
Yeah,
it.
the
Yeah.
most I've done is watch an episode a week of something, and then eventually call
Oh,
up.
you're good.
I just can't.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I sit there and I watch one, and then I'm going to watch another one.
I'm
And
jealous.
then I'm going to watch one more. What are you doing there? So, you know what you're spending a lot of time doing? That's emailing me.
That's true.
I never knew who you were. I just would get these emails, which I thought I didn't even know it was a real person.
I think
Constantly I get
who
emails.
connected us? What, do you know?
No, but it's not from you personally. It's from something to do with the NOLA project. or
Oh,
something.
that's right.
It's non-stop.
That is true. Well,
years
I
I've been
send out
getting
the
those
press
emails.
releases for NOLA Project for for my theater company, which is a completely separate thing from the Tequila. And somebody a long time ago said, helped me put together an arts and media press list for our theater company, and you were on it. And so it's just kind of a send all.
Oh, so you think I'm a member of the media? That's a sad.
Hey, that's what someone else told me. So,
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's why I get them all.
Yeah.
What do they say? Because I haven't read any of them.
Oh, that's okay. It's
Does anyone read them? I just delete everything instantly.
Well,
like most people.
the
I'm
theater
too busy
critics
watching.
The theater critics read them.
Oh, it's a theater
so
thing.
we're a performing arts company. So the Gambit and NOLA.com, the people who are writing about the arts and reviewing theater, they're the ones actually reading them.
Do they just take that and copy and paste it into
Sometimes.
the thing and make that
Sometimes.
That's the ideal.
I mean, well, it's frustrating for us because we need the credibility of a critic reviewing the show because then that's how we get things like grants.
Well,
we need a critic to say, here's my opinion. And if it's good, we use that as an opportunity to get more funding. But if somebody just copies the press release, there's no proof that the show was good or, you know what I mean?
What if can't you put in the thing like to individual? There's not that many people to write to after all. There's Gambit and whatever.
In New Orleans, there's not a lot.
There's like half a dozen, and you could just personalize it. So each one has a sentence that says fabulous, brilliant, witty.
This is true.
And then you can.
You'd be surprised in this age where print is becoming less and less relevant. There are a lot more digital blogs that review arts and entertainment popping up to kind of fill that need, fill that hole.
Right.
So you'd be surprised. Our media list is like 100 outlets long, which is a lot for New Orleans. It's a small company. So.
And is it working? I mean, do people?
Yeah.
Can you tell who's opening them?
Yeah, because they respond.
Oh, they do. Okay.
They're interested. We also offer comp tickets, and this,
tickets.
Free tickets. So
I wasn't aware of that.
Since you're a member of the media, you should come see shows because it's free for you.
No, I know that it's free. I'll open some of those emails.
And then you can review the shows, and you can say, "Oh, this was crap," and then I'll give you free tickets.
Don't these people who have all these great critiques like you, Julie? Like I was looking online about your books. It's incredible how much people love you. Are you paying these people?
Well, there were a few bad ones in there that
I didn't read those.
didn't quote on the website.
People were liking you to Dorothy Parker. Who's one of the
Oh.
wittiest, most intelligent writers.
That's wonderful.
That was
time.
That was really exciting. To get that one.
So how much do you pay for that, or does your publisher pay people? I think that's something about these reviews in the paper. Aren't you paying people to say stuff?
Well, so some organizations will just cover your show because they cover arts and media, but some will say, we'll cover your show if you buy an ad or if you sponsor our thing, which in this day and age I understand because there has to be revenue to keep these outlets open, but it also feels a little shiesty.
That's
but
pretty
it's
payola-esque,
yeah,
if you will.
Yeah. It is. I understand, coming from the marketing world, that it is sometimes a necessary evil.
Yeah.
If the newspaper needs to make money to stay open, then I understand.
Okay.
Or the newsletter or the website or whatever it is. But a lot of times these nonprofits and arts organizations that need the coverage don't have the money to pay for those things. So it's a catch-22 or a chicken and the egg or other metaphors.
Yeah.
Is there another one? Well, Julie, you have to sell books.
Yeah. There's.
Do they sell books? These positive quotes on
the blurbs on the back of the book.
Yeah.
Before the book comes out, usually the publisher will contact some kind of people who are well known and ask them to read it and give a pre-publication blurb and then put it on the back, and that kind of helps people if they just pick it up in a bookstore or something. It's kind of like this voice of authority, says you should read it. But then after it comes out, then it's like you trying to get real reviews,
right?
Because nobody's going to say anything bad on the back of your book, or they're not going to put it on.
Well, you're not going to put it on your book. So, Julie, I don't want to hold your hand. Well, I do want to hold your hand, right? You have matching fingernail polish and clothes.
And clothes?
Yes, your clothes are the same color as your. Do you always do that? Do you change?
No.
Do you change your nail polish to suit your outfit?
This is more in the silver family, and that's more in the green family.
Is that not the same color?
No, it's not the same color at all.
Are you kidding me?
It's
Allison.
It's a dim bar.
Allison's our photographer. Is it the same color, Allison? Tell me it is.
It's like a greenish silver.
Okay.
It's green. It's got green in it, right?
Greenish
Thank God
silver.
for that. You guys can't see the green in it?
I can see a bit of resemblance, but I would say different colors.
Okay.
That's my review.
Yeah.
Okay.
Different colors. Where did you get your glasses?
On the internet.
Uh-huh.
No, wait.
Thank you.
No, wait.
further
I got
questions.
it. Yeah. I got them at St. Charles Vision. I've had these for a long time.
Oh, they're good. Well, that might be why. How long?
At least 5 years.
Maybe your prescription's changed. That's
You're probably right.
You can't
You're
tell
probably
that's
right.
green.
You're right.
Richard,
Yeah.
where'd you get your glasses from?
What's that online company where they let you? I should know the name of this.
Warby Parker.
Warby Parker.
Warby
Yeah, and they just
Parker,
put it in a
okay.
store in Magazine
Yep.
Street.
Yeah,
so I think
right.
I think I went to the store.
Went to the store. They're
Yeah.
nice looking glasses.
Thank you.
But you
Yeah,
still
I like
can't
them.
see the correct color.
No.
How much were they?
can't.
$95?
Oh, I'm assuming, somewhere
Yeah,
around
that's a
there.
good.
$100.
I'm asking him
Yeah.
like he knows.
No, I do know. I have like 3 pair.
Okay, great.
You have Warby Parker
I do.
glasses?
Yeah.
Well, these aren't Warby Parker.
They're not. No.
Okay.
These are
Maybe
my
if you wore
like.
those,
These are
you'd
my.
go-
Yeah. These are my nice glasses. These
Oh,
are my
that's very
stunner
good.
shades.
Oh,
Right.
excellent.
Yeah.
And how do they feel with the headphones on? You guys?
They're fine.
That's
Yeah,
okay.
it's all right.
Yeah.
Julie, you took your glasses off. I
I
see.
did, yeah. They
Look
were a
at
little
you.
weird with the headphones.
Yeah,
but-
they do. You
yeah.
get used to it after a few years. But your eyes are now the same color as your clothes as well.
Yeah,
Check that out. Am I right about that?
You're right about
That
that.
that'll
You're really
agree.
insistent
Okay,
upon
I'll
that.
give you that one.
So you have green eyes. Now that's unusual, correct?
Yeah,
Okay, how do you choose the eyeshadow color? That's a sort of a bluey.
that's called aqua green.
Aqua green, okay. So you have a lot of green going
Yes,
on. And you're
aqua-
Irish
aqua
as
green.
well.
Yes, completely Irish.
I wonder
yes.
if that's the reason that subconsciously you like green. 'cause
It is
you're
kind of
Irish.
close to St. Pat's still, so I don't know. Maybe
Why is green the color of the Irish?
is it the shamrocks or
Oh,
the
don't tell me
green?
you
The
don't.
green
I mean,
fields. If you
Because
fly
Ireland
over
is
it,
Ireland is covered in grass.
Yeah.
Right. I mean,
if you fly over it,
It's called the Emerald Isle,
This is
I
true.
suppose.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like a green quilt from the air.
Yeah.
All
Okay.
different squares of green.
You
It's really
spent some
beautiful.
time there?
When I was in college, I spent a couple of weeks there, and hope
that's
to go
quaint.
back soon.
Yeah, what
Yeah.
college were you at?
I was at Cornell as an
I
undergraduate.
say you're a super genius.
It was a lot
Cornell,
easier.
come on.
A lot easier to get in then, and a lot cheaper too.
Was it? It's easier that back then. When was
I
that?
think
This
so. In the early 70s.
early 70s.
Yeah.
the price of college has gone up across the board, right?
Yeah.
I mean, all over the country, no matter where you went.
Yeah.
But isn't that an Ivy
Yeah.
League school and has been from the beginning?
Yeah.
So?
And one of the first to
Well, I guess you have to admit if you're intelligent.
Yeah.
I'm afraid. Once you say Cornell, it's written all over you. Do they let stupid people in? Like, can you slip in by mistake?
Sure.
You can?
I mean, come on. Any college.
Come on.
If
Really?
you have the money to pay for it,
People
you can
sneak
get
by.
it.
Ah,
People
okay.
sneak by under
Look
the
at me.
radar, right?
I went to college.
Where did you go?
Loyola.
Oh, come on. Anyone,
Yeah,
can,
I know.
anyone
I
can
know.
get to
Anyone.
Well,
Are you-
I went to UNO, and anyone can get to UNO. I mean, come on.
Are you guys from? Are you from here, John? You're from Mississippi.
Not originally from Mississippi, yes, sir.
What part of Mississippi? Are you?
Jackson, Mississippi.
Okay, so do you have to pay to go to Loyola in Louisiana?
Absolutely, yeah.
Why didn't you go to?
I got a good scholarship, but
You did? Ah.
yeah.
golf
Golf?
scholarship.
No, I wish I'm a former golfer though.
Former?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I
At
suppose.
your age, you're a former golfer.
No, all right. I should
Wait, did
say
you
this.
just guess that he played
Yes.
golf? Okay.
Yes, I did.
That's
That's
amazing.
brilliant.
It's because he's white, isn't it?
Yes.
I hadn't
race card.
noticed you.
The race card has already come out.
Oh, man. I am offended.
Yeah. But no, I guess I should clarify. I'm a former competitive golfer.
Wow.
Now I'm an amateur wannabe golfer. So
Competitive
Oh,
golf.
cool.
I played in high school, guys. State champ.
You were the state champion.
Yeah.
All
Come
right.
on.
Yeah.
Nice going. Congratulations.
To a
Of Mississippi.
of Mississippi.
Okay, all right. I just want to clarify.
There's a lot
right.
of people playing golf in Mississippi.
That's
Yeah.
true. That's
There's
true.
not
Weren't
much
you
else to do.
Tempted to go
I'm glad
pro?
you said it.
Oh no. Oh,
No, not at all.
No, I wasn't even that good. I was just on the team that happened to win state. So yeah, I'm a state champion.
Okay.
Yeah.
You must have been pretty good.
I was all right. I was good
What
enough.
was your score? What would you go around in? Or what
in the state championship? I believe I shot an 81, which is
That's
pretty
pretty-
much my best ever. Yeah.
So you pulled it out for the big game.
Oh yeah,
there
for
you
sure.
go.
Yeah,
That's a mark of a real champion.
yeah. Actually, a quick story about the state championship, if we have time.
Yes,
so
we have tons of.
we have tons of time. So
We've got a whole bottle of tequila to
Yes,
drink.
You're
that's
right.
true.
Speaking of
I'm
which-
I'm going to pour some shots. Keep
Okay.
talking.
Cool. So basically, state championship. So the way that you do competitive golf for teams is each golfer is assigned a number 1 through 5, and you're matched up with your other numbers. And I was number 5, being that I was the worst of the 5.
Oh, it's like a handicap system.
No, I mean it's basically like first is the best, and
So
fifth
you
is the
play
worst.
the number 5 on the other. Well,
Yes,
you go around
yes.
with the other number
I,
5.
I was the shittiest golfer of the state champs
Okay.
that year. So yeah,
Put it another way, you were the 5th best golfer in the whole of the state of Mississippi.
sure. Of a certain school size.
You were the Ringo of
There you go. Yes.
your
Yes.
team.
Okay.
Excellent.
Now, don't get me started on Ringo because I'll defend that man.
Yeah, I
to the death.
actually like him too,
Yeah.
but I had to throw that joke out there.
Okay.
That
no,
was
I
pretty
get
good.
it. Yeah.
So you're not a drummer, you're a guitar player.
Correct,
You're
yeah.
and singer.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why do you not have a guitar here with you?
Well, none of my brothers are here. They couldn't make it, so I didn't want to do solo.
The band's a trio. It's all brothers.
Yeah.
It's an all sibling band.
Yeah, correct.
And what are the other two losers doing that they couldn't be here?
So one loser is in Los Angeles. He lives there. Doing loser stuff, and the other
like
brother,
a successful screenwriter or actor or something.
he actually does music for film and TV.
Does he?
cool.
Yeah.
What a loser!
I know.
I can't believe rather than wanting to be on
My niece
Happy
is a
Hour.
composer in L.A.
No way.
Your niece?
Yeah,
Maybe they
she's
know
a
each other.
classical composer. She might, yeah.
Interesting.
It's a classical composer in LA.
Yeah.
That would be a very difficult gig, I would imagine. What is she?
She's doing
for
well. She's
for
making
movies.
Yeah, she's making almost all of her income from it these days.
Cool.
What's her name?
Dale Trumbore, Trumbore,
Drumbore. D.
like Trumb,
like Dalton Trumbo.
B-O-R, yeah.
Okay.
Like Trumbo
Trumbore.
with an R-E on the end, yeah.
Trumbore.
She does a
Okay.
lot of choral composition.
Wow.
and,
What a great
cool.
way to make
Yeah.
it. And you're a poet.
Yeah.
You're a poet person who makes a living out of writing poetry.
Well, I didn't
Your
say
niece
that.
What do you do to supplement your income?
I was a college professor. I just retired from Northwestern State in
Ah,
Natchitoches.
you're retired.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you're officially retired now. You on a pension? And all that
Officially,
sort of-
yeah,
Oh, how
not
awesome is
a
that?
very
That sounds
meager
nice.
pension.
Yeah, but so
Yes.
what? You're not working and you're getting paid. That's the
That's
the key.
the
That's
wonderful
the dream,
part.
right?
God.
That's
Yes,
the wonderful part.
it's the American dream, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
So where did we
Yeah.
get to, John?
So about my state championship.
Yeah.
So
Your brothers can't be here. That's why you don't have
Brothers
your guitar.
can't be
Oh,
here.
we have got one other brother to dispense of. Where's he?
Yeah, Dave. He is, I think, on tour or playing. He plays in lots of bands locally, and
Another loser activity, playing in a band.
Yeah,
Okay.
I know.
Who's he on tour with?
What's that?
Who's out with now?
So I don't know if he's actually out on tour or just like he also teaches lessons. So one of those things.
I love that you have no idea.
No, of course not.
How
He's
close?
he's either working or sitting on the sofa.
Correct.
Why
If
isn't
he's
he-
sitting on the sofa, I'm going to be pissed.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. Why is he
Yeah.
not here?
Yeah.
How close are you guys? Do you see each other other than playing? Do you talk?
Yeah, of course. I mean, we're best buds.
Okay, well, let's call him up.
Joe and Dave. They're
Joe and-
losers.
They're both
Yeah.
losers.
Yeah.
Who's the oldest?
I'm the oldest.
You're the oldest,
I have
okay.
an older brother actually, but of
He's
the
not in the
three,
band?
he's not in the band, and he happens to be the most musically advanced of all four of us. Honestly, he is a what do you call it now? He's a vocalist. He does opera. He's an opera singer.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's an opera singer.
wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Here in New Orleans?
No,
Okay.
he lives in North Carolina, teaching at
North
East
Carolina
Carolina.
is the home of opera.
Yeah, that's
Sure.
true.
And
It's very
furniture.
true. Yes, correct.
Where does he? Is it? I was just kidding about that. Is it really?
Yeah.
There's opera in North Carolina.
There's a school which has a very good music program in North
I'll be
Carolina.
damned.
Yeah.
What school is that? Do you know?
East Carolina University.
You ever heard of it? Anybody?
No.
There, I mean, it's a
Professor,
sounds
have you
real.
ever heard of
smallish school, but yeah.
Yeah,
It sounds
I've
real.
heard-
that? You've heard of
I've
it?
heard of the school,
East
yeah.
Carolina.
ECU.
Do you have a PhD in poetry, Julie?
I do.
So you're a doctor of poetry.
I got it from LSU. Yeah.
Come on.
It's
Well, that still counts. You know?
literature, but yeah, specializing in poetry.
Wow. So you've a PhD in literature, specializing.
Yeah,
And what
yeah.
sort of poetry did you have to do, like back then? Romantic poetry, like
Everything romantic, Victorian, modern, just whatever poetry course they offered, I took.
Do you know a
basically
lot of
for
poems?
several years. Yeah, I'm probably sort of like a poetry jukebox, with big chunks of poems in my head.
That's a
but-
fun party trick.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to request a poem?
Yeah.
What about the rhyme of the Ancient Mariner? Do you know any of that?
There was an ancient mariner, and he stoppeth one of three by Jan, Baba, and Greta Beard. Now wherefore stoppest thou me? That's all. That's
Pretty
all I
good.
can do.
Okay. All right. You want one, John?
That's amazing.
We'll get back to the golf thing in a minute. But
I don't know any.
well, what
I can't
about
think of a poem.
What
what
about-
about how?
How? Oh my
That's
God.
a long one.
Yes. Oh, wait a minute. Hydrogen jukebox. Blah 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 blah. Yeah. I have seen the best minds of my generation starving, hysterical,
Yeah.
naked, roaming the streets at dawn. Oh, that's
Wow.
yeah.
Oh, you are
Excellent.
pretty damn
That's
good.
a tough one. That's
Yeah.
a tough one.
Okay,
Yeah.
Richard, you got one?
Oh, no, Skip. I don't
No?
I'm not even gonna
You don't know the name of a poem?
I'm not even going to pretend like I can think of a name of a poem right now.
Yeah.
Are you serious? You can't think of the name of one famous poem?
No, I drink too much tequila.
Yeah.
That's bad.
No idea.
You need-
Off the
that's
top
a-
of my head.
What school? What high school did you go to?
Oh, Brother Martin.
Nice.
Well, they have an education system at Brother Martin.
That's all right. Yeah, I mean, no, it is good. I didn't pay much attention.
All right.
That's my fault. It's not their fault.
Well, you're an actor. Do you remember chunks of
Oh, sure.
dialogue
yeah.
or monologues?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. monologues, just not poetry, unfortunately. I apologize.
Shakespeare's
No, but
poetry.
that's true. Shakespeare is poetry.
Should we request a monologue as well?
No, stop. I brought tequila. Come
Yeah,
on.
there's a limit. Okay. Well, first of all, we're going to finish the golf story.
Sure.
And then, you know what, maybe we'll listen to a bit of music that you
Sure.
you
Yeah,
guys,
let's do
the
it.
Cardinal Sons, are doing. Okay, so tell us, where did we get up to with the golf? You're
Okay,
number
so
5. That's
I'm
as far as we
number
got.
5 on the team.
Right.
And,
It's the longest golf story.
I know.
Well, there's golf.
Right?
How
that's
long
true.
does it take to play a game of golf, actually?
Pretty long.
How long would it take?
I mean,
3 hours,
18
like
holes,
football?
3 hours. Yeah, it
It's like
depends
football.
on.
So.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Without the equipment.
Right. So, coming in, I was with the 5s,
Okay.
and we were last, obviously. And so everyone is done, and they're sitting around the green of the 18th hole. And so
They're all smoking weed and everything, and you're
totally,
still playing
they're all
golf.
partying.
Right.
So basically, I hit my shot on the green, and my buddy comes up to me, and he says, "Hey, John, no pressure, but you have to sink this putt to win state." Right?
Wow.
And this is everyone's there, and you know it's a big moment. So I get over the ball, and it's probably 15-foot putt, and sink it. Right? So I freak out and throw my putter and jump up and down. And turns out that we had already won state. And
He
they
just told you
yeah,
that?
Yeah, yeah.
They're just fucking with you?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I
So-
hope you fucking beat that guy up with your 5-iron.
That's a good friend of mine, but yes, he deserves an ass whooping.
Yeah,
So,
really.
Wow.
Oh, that is cool, though. And you
Yeah.
thought that you'd won it.
Oh yeah, I thought I single-handedly
Had
won
one
state.
state. Oh,
yeah.
that's how amazing.
But you learn that you had it in you all along.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
You
Yeah.
know, yeah.
and
I had
that
the fire.
probably must have been one of the best moments of your whole life.
Probably for a solid 30 seconds
Yeah.
until I realized that it didn't
But
mean
so
anything.
what? How long can
Yeah.
a good moment last?
You're right.
If you
You're
have
right.
30 great seconds in your life, that would be pretty good, wouldn't
right.
it?
The rest is all just shit.
Should've just
but that
never-
30 seconds.
Should have just never told you.
You're right.
You could have gone to your grave thinking I was just... You could have been
ignorance is
telling
bliss,
people in the
right?
old...
yeah. Very true.
Telling your
Wow,
grandchildren.
that is
I
a
know.
good story.
Yeah.
Does it compare to like getting applause on stage? Is it the same kind of feeling?
Oh, absolutely. If not more so. Because it's like the pressure is so intense
Right.
in that moment. And
But what's it feel like when people clap and you're like on stage? It must be a...
Yeah, it's great. It's a high. if you
Is that
will.
why you're doing this? For fame?
For fame? No.
No, he wouldn't
not
be
really.
doing it in New Orleans.
Yeah. Well, not only that.
Louis Armstrong did okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Professor Longhair, Dr. John.
Yeah, but Louis
Better
Armstrong
than Ezra.
traveled a lot. Most of his
Yeah.
shows weren't in New Orleans, right? I mean,
Eventually
Chicago.
he moved.
Right. Yeah, all right.
But
all
you
right.
guys are on tour,
I don't know
aren't
what
you?
I'm talking about.
We play here and there.
I had a look on your website
Yeah.
just before I got here, and it's more like a history of where you did play.
Yeah.
It says tour.
That means we need
and
to
all the
update our
dates
website.
yeah, really. All the dates have 8 at the beginning, and I'm like, they can't be that far ahead, can they? They can't
Yeah.
be. August can't be booked up already.
Well, I'm sure it is for
Is
a
it?
lot of folks, not us.
Not you.
So, hence, I am not doing it for the fame.
So what are you in it for?
I just really like music. I'm a fan of music, and playing with my brothers is a it's a fulfilling thing to do. So yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Well, let's take a listen to this. This is something
Cool.
new you
I was
have.
gonna mention. So I listen to a lot of
Yes.
podcasts, and I was gonna make a recommendation on how to listen to this.
Oh,
I listened to an NPR podcast. Oh, this is wrong phone. Oh, sorry.
you have to unlock your phone so we can hear it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what I was going to recommend is they listen to a minute of the song and then
Yes.
fade it out, and then that's kind of it. Rather than
Okay.
listening to the full song. Is that
Okay.
an okay recommendation?
You tell us. We'll
I-
keep the mic turned on.
Okay.
You tell us when to fade it out. You can talk over it.
Okay.
It's your own song. You're allowed to talk over it. We'll
Yeah,
be polite
yeah.
and we won't talk over it. Is that a deal? Okay.
No,
You can talk now.
that's
Julie.
why I'm
Yeah.
suggesting that we cut it a little short because it might be awkward. But yeah.
No, as long as you say, okay, that's enough of this bullshit.
Right.
Okay. What's the key word? You want to have a code word?
I think it's called a safe word. I think-
Safe
Yeah,
word.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
What should
Bullshit.
this bullshit?
Yeah.
Okay. So as soon as you say bullshit, Thomas will fade it down.
Got it.
Okay. Something
Okay.
like that. Should we have a drink of this tequila first
Yeah, sure.
before we
Ooh,
listen to it?
okay.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do
Has
it.
Makes it
everyone's
better.
got a glass. Alison, did you get a glass of tequila? You've got your own.
Cheers.
I gotta pass. I'll taste.
Here's to it.
Cheers.
I didn't hear the word bullshit anyway.
Oh, bullshit.
I liked that. I would have listened to more of that.
Beautiful.
great, man.
Didn't you think?
Yeah.
What'd you think of the lyrics, Julie?
Yeah, good. I would need to hear it again to get
Yeah.
them exactly because the music was
Yeah.
really
I heard
beautiful too. And
I heard the word complacent.
I was
Right.
paying attention to those.
You don't hear the word complacent in pop lyrics all that often.
Yeah, I guess it's a little,
Intellectual.
It's a lot about me, man.
Did you write that song?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
what are the lyrics? What are the opening lines?
The opening line is, shit, now I can't remember. Oh, with all my time, I grew complacent.
With all my time, I grew complacent.
Yeah.
I like that. Do you like that, Julie? Is
Yeah.
This is the Poet Laureate.
I know,
Yeah.
yeah. I feel like I'm being graded.
Yeah. We're going to need full critique after.
Yeah, definitely.
I like that, and this is a new song that's just coming out.
It is.
You have an EP,
Well, no, we have a single, which is two-sided, 2 songs.
2 songs on a single.
That is correct.
Yeah.
This one in particular.
You need 2 songs. You got it's on a record, it's like on an actual 45 or something.
So it's actually on a cassette tape.
That's a
Awesome.
brilliant,
Oh, wow.
brilliant marketing
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah.
That is a genius marketing
So
idea.
a couple-
Who came
a couple
up with
of,
that?
that's
One of
good.
your brothers?
Well, there's several reasons. So I'll give you the rationale for the cassette tape. Number one, they're kind of coming back. Number
Wow,
two,
is that right?
they're easy to buy at a show and put in your pocket, rather than like a 7-inch or CD. Thirdly, they are way cheaper than printing to vinyl or CDs.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Who knew? Yeah.
And they have
Where
a
do you-
download card inside, so it's
As long as 8-tracks
cool,
don't
yeah.
come back,
yeah,
I'm cool with cassettes.
yeah.
Are you?
I love cassettes.
Cassette,
Oh,
sounds-
cassettes.
cassette
Yeah.
was the
Yeah.
shittiest sound
That's-
of all media.
I love the shitty sound though. That's the
You
thing.
like
And
the shitty
the
sound.
fourth
Going for
reason
that.
is because the songs are kind of nostalgic, and I grew up in the era of tapes.
Yeah.
and
Right. Me too.
so that's kind of a reference to the songs too.
That is amazing to hear that the cassette tape is coming back. I had no idea about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cheap, man, and
Hey,
it's-
look, if PBR can come back, cassette tapes can come back.
Everything comes back.
But cassette, I mean, who's manufacturing the cassette player now? Can you still buy one?
So that's a great question. You can. They're a rarity, but you can find them online. Walkman.
I read something that is it Sony that owns the Walkman? I read
Yeah.
something that said Sony, just out of people asking for it, has started reproducing Walkmans.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're doing it in
yeah.
mass production, but I know that they.
I think in
they did
limited
a small small
Yeah.
run.
Yeah.
But the whole thing with the retro thing of the turntable coming back and vinyl coming back is that when you put it on, it actually sounds surprisingly good.
It
You're
does-
right, yeah.
does
We all
sound
thought it
good.
sounded shitty, and we were going to get rid of it and have
Yeah.
CDs that all
Yeah.
sounded clean and beautiful.
Yeah, yeah.
What sounds like you listen to records because it sounds good, but it sounds like the cassette thing is more
Cassette
out of
was good, actually,
Yeah,
yeah.
you like that? It sounds like the cassette thing coming back is more out of convenience or ease, or
Yeah.
it seems like it's easier to purchase and hang on
Absolutely.
to, and
Yeah.
yada
It
yada.
seems more like just some sort of hipster bullshit idea to me, frankly.
Maybe.
That's what I'm thinking. But
I'm okay with that. I don't care if it's
yeah, well,
bullshit.
are you like a hipster yourself?
I don't consider myself
sort of
one,
tattoos
but
have you got?
I have no tattoos.
None.
No.
Okay, well, we have temporary tattoos. You could
We
put
do have
one on.
temporary tattoos. Yeah.
Does that count? Yeah.
That's interesting. You have no tattoos. That's
No.
unusual.
Is that-
Do you-
that's
John, do you
surprising?
have any?
I don't.
No?
I don't.
Julie?
I
No.
plan.
Whoa.
That's
I got
probably a first.
Poems about tattoos, though.
But you have
Oh,
poem?
that works.
You want to read
Nice.
one?
Yeah. About a tattoo?
Yeah.
Or about a
I've
know
got
if
the
you're
review of your
good.
new book here.
yeah.
It's like it's called. It says it's wickedly. This is an actual review.
Mm-hmm.
Wickedly clever. Julie Kane is our 21st century Dorothy Parker.
Damn.
That's
That's
a fucking
wonderful.
unbelievable
That's
thing,
really nice.
Yeah.
isn't it? And you didn't pay for that. You swear to God you didn't pay
I
for that.
I love Dorothy Parker. Oh my God.
Who doesn't?
Yeah.
What are some of the great epithets that Dorothy Parker said?
I have no idea. I was just going to say that the
men
next
don't
to
make
that-
passes at girls who wear glasses.
That's the one. That's the only one I remember. Yeah.
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 And the
she
one-
said something very amazing. What else? Do you have any others?
Well, she's got great one-liners.
Yeah, right, that's what
You
I'm
know, like
thinking.
yeah.
There was a 10 years ago, maybe 10, 15 years ago. Do you remember Le Chat Noir, little theater downtown on
Yes.
St. Charles?
Yeah.
They did a play about Dorothy Parker, and of course, I didn't know a lot about her, but it was a fantastic. It was just a one-woman show, her talking to the audience, and the actress was drinking during the show. It was fantastic. I was probably too young to understand most of it, but that's how I know that line. It was
Parker
a great show.
said, "One more drink and I'll be under the host."
That's great.
Nice.
It also says that your book is boldly upbeat, sassily downbeat, and laugh out loud funny.
Oh, that's Paper
It's about
Bullets.
you,
the
not
one
about
that's,
Dorothy
It's just kind of silly. Yeah, silly poems.
It's
yeah.
silly poems. Do you have
Yeah.
that here, that book?
Yeah, I do.
What
I do.
about- Would you like us to read one?
Yeah, that might
Richard's
be
an actor, he's a
cool.
professional
Yeah,
actor.
man.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that would be awesome.
What about that for an idea?
I think you're overestimating my skills.
That would be
How
awesome.
much tequila have you drunk? You've only had one shot. If you have another shot,
I
you
got
should
one
drink
from
more.
here because this one is like, I'm in a bar and I've got some.
Unless you'd rather read it. Do you think it
Poems
would make more sense if you read
Oh,
it?
Yeah.
please let her read it.
All right.
You want to read it?
No, please
Okay.
read it.
If you think you should
Okay.
read it, who do you think does the best performance?
I'll read a bar
Of
poem.
her work, her.
Yeah. This guy had tattoos. Okay, but like that was before tattoos were in. That was like only when ex-Navy guys, who got drunk had tattoos.
When the tattoo was taboo.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Oh, nice. That's a
I
poem
like
right
that.
there.
Yeah, and it's going to sound, you're going to hear stuff repeating because it's this weird old form called the Villanelle where things have to repeat. But,
It's called the what?
the Villanelle,
How do you spell that?
Villanelle. So that's
Villanelle,
why.
that looks
That's why it's like.
French.
wait a
That
minute,
looks
I
like
heard
a
that
small
before.
French house or something.
Yeah.
What
It
is
comes
it?
from that same root, like farm, I think is the root of villa and Villanelle.
Yeah.
So why
Yeah.
is it? So it's a
In-
villanelle is a style of poem that repeats.
Yeah, like it's like braiding hair. The first line and the third line kind of keep weaving, crossing over each other till the end. So like if you do it, you have to try to make it sound like you're just talking naturally, in normal English, but you're doing this weird thing.
That's the word of the day, and every time somebody says it, the duck
To
comes
do,
down.
to do a shot of this ghost tequila, which we haven't even mentioned the name of it.
That's all right. That's all right.
Okay,
We'll get to me
What
later.
is the poem called?
It's called Kissing the Bartender.
Aha.
Yeah, okay. So here we go. The summer we kissed across the bar, I felt 16 at 36. As if you were a movie star I had a crush on from afar. My chest was flat, my legs were sticks the summer we kissed across the bar. Balancing on the rail was hard. Spilled beer made my elbows stick. You could have been a movie star, backlit, golden, lofting a jar of juice or Bloody Mary mix the summer we kissed across the bar. Over the sink, the limes, as far as you could lean, you leaned. I kissed the movie screen, a movie star. Drinks stayed empty, ashtrays tarred. The customers got mighty pissed the summer we kissed across the bar. Summer went by like a shooting star.
Nice.
I like that too. Very nice. Is it a true story?
Yes, it is.
So you're,
Yes, it
you're
is.
16?
That guy got
Or
fired
you-
from
She-
some of the
she
best
said
bars
30,
in New Orleans.
36.
36.
Oh, here.
Felt like
it's
16, right?
A few, yeah.
So you're making out with some guy in a bar in New Orleans and he got fired.
And he got.
Oh, I said he's been fired from some of the best bars in New
He
Orleans.
didn't get fired for that.
Subject of that poem, yes.
He wasn't fired for kissing you, making out with you.
No.
What bar was
I think
it?
drinking too much of the stock was probably.
What bar was that? I'm curious.
That was the Maple Leaf, actually. Yeah. There's some other poems in there about that era when Everett Maddox, the poet, was alive and,
Okay.
and kind of, living there.
I live around the
actually.
corner from the Maple Leaf, so.
Oh,
Do you really?
really?
So that's a thing.
I used to.
I have a connection to this poem.
Yeah. I
So you
used to be
spend
By proximity.
Dublin and Birch Street.
Okay,
right
I'm
around
right
there.
off of
Yeah.
Leonidas.
Oh,
Up in
yeah.
there,
Yeah. Okay. That's cool.
So there used to be poetry night at the Maple Leaf or poetry afternoons or something, as I
the
remember.
longest running poetry series in the South, Sunday afternoon.
Wow. And is
Yeah.
that when you were making out with
Really?
this? You were making out with the guy then?
Yeah, well, nights too. It lasted a while.
So you were the rock star, really, rather than him.
I love this. This is great.
That's awesome.
So you were a big deal at the Maple Leaf. then?
Young in New Orleans.
Yeah. And you moved from up north originally.
Yeah, I did.
Would
Yeah.
you be making out with a bartender up north, you think, if you'd stayed there?
No, not then. I came down with the husband actually. So
Or was this part of the reason you got divorced, because of the bartender?
No, that was
Nothing to do with
after.
That was after it, all right.
Okay, this is a safe zone.
Yeah. Yeah.
How long did you manage to...
Villanelle,
No one's
Villanelle.
listening.
Villanelle. That's our word of the day. How long did you stay married for?
Just a few years.
That's
just
enough, right?
2 or 3 years.
Got
yeah.
the idea and moved on.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you dating anybody right now?
Oh, right now, well, there's sort of this is complicated. It's
Okay.
complicated. Yeah.
Have another shot of that vodka.
Yeah.
I mean tequila.
One of those
It's
on and off things.
What does that mean when people say it's complicated? I always think it means I'm dating somebody married.
Oh, no.
That's not what...
It's just,
No,
No,
that's
What
a
do you
big.
guys
you're,
think?
You're shacking up, and maybe you're not official.
yeah.
It's complicated.
that means it's complicated.
Yeah. There are feelings
Shacking up.
somewhere.
Shacking up, but not
Yeah.
official. And that means living together, but
No,
Not
like
official.
just like banging.
hooking up.
Yeah.
Shacking up means living together, doesn't it?
I wanted to keep it a little more PC, I suppose, so I said shacking instead of hooking. But
Okay.
Same difference.
You mean you're having sex with someone, but it's no one knows. It's on the quiet.
Yeah.
That means it's
and maybe one of the partners has feelings for the other, and maybe one doesn't. And man, that's
I'm gonna
complicated.
cry.
Yeah.
I'm not saying anything about your relationship. But
That's your definition of it's complicated. That's not
my
far away from
complicated-
mine. That's
yeah.
not far away from mine.
Okay.
That's kind of the same ballpark.
Yeah.
I'm thinking someone's married and someone's not, and you're thinking someone's committed and someone's
Yeah.
to the
maybe,
relationship
maybe.
and someone's not.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Someone's
complicated.
just having sex. You were just, what is that song? You were only falling while I was falling in love.
Oh. Okay. Okay.
Okay, what's your definition, Richard, of it's complicated?
Of it's complicated. It feels like a Facebook status, doesn't it? Like
Well, that's
one
where
of
it
the-
started,
one of the-
isn't it?
Yeah, I'm sure it did. It's complicated means two people are seeing each other without having a solid definition or direction of where it's going.
Yeah.
You know?
That's not complicated, though, if they both agree, is it?
Well, that's what I
That's simple.
To me, it's complicated.
No
Means
strings.
they haven't made a decision or they haven't discussed where it's going, right? So it's just out of lack of defining it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
Am I going off on a?
I don't know.
No,
That's your
Is that-
definition.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's
a great
good.
definition.
I don't know.
That's good.
I'm just making shit up.
That's your definition of it's. Well, Julie, what's yours then?
In this case, it's like a relationship that's been on and off for many years. And
Right.
I'm in
Okay,
New
that makes
Orleans,
sense,
so
yeah.
it's sort of on, but
That makes
it's
sense.
not
Ah,
always.
okay.
It's not
So
always
if-
on.
It's all.
So if you leave town or he leaves town,
Yeah.
then everyone's left to their own devices. And
I would
Yeah,
agree with that.
exactly.
That actually
Okay.
that sounds
That's
better
pretty
than mine.
good.
I'll agree with
Yeah.
that.
I
Yeah.
like that idea. And do you tell each other? Oh, while I was away, I banged this other guy. Or does no one say anything?
Well, there's a geographical distance, so it's,
Yeah, but when you get back together, like now,
Yeah.
do you tell each other what happened in the interim, or have it just
No.
all forgotten?
No.
It's all just
Oh, yeah.
forget that.
yeah,
That's a pretty good system, actually. If you can pull that off.
yeah.
And what does this dude do? Is he
Feel free,
Is he a
No.
Is he a bartender?
Good night, folks.
No. In fact, neither one of us can even drink anymore, which is very sad.
Oh,
I'm
that
sorry.
is-
I didn't.
I hit-
I
oh,
didn't
no.
know. I didn't.
Well,
mean
you
to
took
do
a.
that.
Oh,
you
if
made
I
it.
could,
right.
I
Well,
would be.
cheers.
Well,
yeah.
you're medically unable to drink.
No, I just hit my
Thank you.
lifetime quota kind of
Ah, yes.
earlier
Just keep
than
going.
most people.
Did you have to go to
it's
AA
The
and
thing
quit?
being Irish and all that kind
yeah.
of,
Did you go to
And
AA
a
and
poet
quit
goes
drink?
with the occupation.
Working in alcohol, a lot of people are very apologetic when I try to offer them alcohol. It's like, no, I completely respect that. Like, more
Yeah.
power to you.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Hey, let's
Yeah.
talk about this.
Oh,
we haven't even
I
mentioned
loved it and
Yeah.
cherish those memories.
Sure.
All right.
Yeah, and you don't have to do it forever.
Yeah.
I look forward to the day when I can stop drinking. One day, many years from now, I'm going to do it.
Yeah, I guess you can always start
I've
up
had
again,
plenty.
right?
Yeah.
If you feel like.
Yeah.
Do you go to AA? or
Don't shoot
anything?
that much at once.
I
accidentally
did
poured
initially,
that.
yeah.
Right. So you can't start again because it's one day at a time.
Yeah, I do
Okay.
occasionally now. Yeah.
You do occasionally drink?
No,
Or you occasionally go to a meeting?
occasionally go because
Right.
because there are other people who are having trouble with it who
So
want
you can-
to who want to
yeah.
hear from people who
Right.
who
Have
did
been
it
sober.
and are happy.
Got over
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Here it's pretty serious when people go to AA. In other cities, it's sort of a social thing, and
Is it?
like LA, for example.
Yeah.
You can go to AA, and people aren't really alcoholics. They just quit drinking for a while, and they go. It's like a networking thing. But here, you go to an AA meeting here, and boy, people are really fucking alcoholics. I mean, have you noticed that?
It's New Orleans.
Yeah. I mean, you have to be really
Yeah.
bad off
Yeah.
here
Yeah.
to admit you're an alcoholic, because pretty much
Because
everybody
everyone
drinks
is
like
not.
crazy.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the social norm here. There
Right.
is no activity that exists in New Orleans, whether it's an event or an outing, a social situation that doesn't involve alcohol.
Yeah.
So there's really
Yeah,
no
you
way
can
to
go
avoid it.
You can go and watch kids play soccer,
And you
at
have a drink.
Carlton. There's a concession that sells booze.
Yeah.
Go
I was talking
Cubs.
about this today.
Drive-through
Putt-putt.
daiquiris.
They have
Putt-putt.
booze at putt-putt,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you can throw your kid a birthday party and get wasted playing putt-putt.
Yeah.
Even Chuck E.
That's
Cheese.
okay.
There's
Yeah.
beer.
Chuck E.
there's
Cheese
beer
has
now.
beer.
Yeah, there's beer at Chuck E. Cheese.
Dude, I
Which is
wanna just
fantastic.
go there
Well,
for
and
fun.
that's the thing. Like, I just want to sneak in with friends,
Yeah.
get pizza, play video games.
Yeah.
I think there's a new rule now that you have to be, if you're over a certain age, you have to have kids with you, something like that. Which
Oh, you could
That's
find a couple of kids probably on Craigslist.
Just gonna get Craigslist. I
Yeah.
just find some on the
Need
street.
free
you know?
8-year-olds.
Rent 'em. Yeah.
Hey kid, jump in the van. We're going to Chuck E. Cheese.
Okay.
Do you have a white panel van? You're
But
in.
the thing is, I'm just going to leave you there at the end. So you got to figure out a way to get home.
Yeah.
Speaking of
Yes.
8-year-olds, what I hear,
Okay.
what I heard in
Great
AA,
transition.
All right.
I don't know why you're looking at me, but
people
go ahead.
people from New Orleans seem to
I
start
never- I didn't
drinking
do
when
it.
they're kids.
Oh, yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
how old were you?
High school.
high school. That's
Yeah,
old.
I mean,
I'm hearing,
well,
you know,
I was gonna- I mean,
people
like- Oh,
12, 10,
okay, that's-
12.
Junior high, for sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I mean, I was sophomore, junior year of high school. Yeah, I guess you're right. For New Orleans, that is kind of old, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to sneak into Nick's Big Train Bar on Tulane, or
Yes, that place was great.
Jimmy's. You know,
On
one
Oaks-
of
on
those
Oak Street.
Yeah,
near
one-
Maple Leaf.
Yeah.
That's right. Near
Yeah.
Maple Leaf. One of those places
So those
where they
places-
kind of look the other way.
They would serve you as a, 12-year-old?
Not me. No, I was not 12. I would have, what was in junior year, what would I have been, 17 or something like that,
16,
18,
Yeah.
16?
Well,
yeah,
that's
about-
almost legal
that's about the
then.
same.
Yeah. Well, and in New Orleans or Louisiana, we were the last state to change the drinking age from 18 to 21, right?
Right.
I mean, that was
yeah.
in the early 90s, something like that.
like
It was
that.
before, we
Before
were.
I was-
before-
It
but,
was, no, it's since I've lived
Yeah.
here, it was 18, and then they changed it to 21. They thought everyone was, what are we going to do?
right.
Yeah.
It was like a major. Cause the only reason they changed it was because the federal government said, if you don't change it, we're not going to give you any more federal dollars to
Right.
fix the highways or
Right.
bridges.
Right.
Well, that worked out
They
great.
still haven't fixed any.
Yeah. I think we should just go back to 18
Yeah,
again.
lower
Yeah,
it again,
seriously.
right.
Yeah. Well, maybe if we change the law, they'll fix the levees or something like that, or
We
the
could put it up
roads
to
or-
22
Yeah.
if they would fix the levees.
Fix something, please. Yeah.
Reach some kind of bargain. So you, Richard, you've bought this bottle with you. It's called Ghost Tequila, and it's called Ghost because it's made with.
It is infused with ghost pepper extract. And for those who don't know, ghost pepper is one of the hottest peppers on earth. It's very spicy. The level of capsaicin in it is one of the hottest naturally occurring substances on earth. People have genetically engineered or cloned peppers that are hotter, but this is one of the hottest naturally growing substances.
What do they
on the earth.
measure heat with? What's the term?
The Scoville meter.
Scoville.
Yeah, the Scoville meter, and there are studies done that measure people's affinity for spicy food and beverages over the years, and this chart goes straight up. So in the 50s, it wasn't as much. 60s got a little bit more. 70s got a little bit more, and we are at an all-time high in recorded history for people's affinity for spicy food and beverages, and that's why you see,
Wow.
like Popeyes has a ghost pepper chicken, and
Yeah.
you see spicy stuff at Starbucks, and I guess people have just gotten bored with food over the years, and now we are demanding, as consumers, we are demanding spicy food and beverages.
Including
Nice.
spice in our tequila.
Including-
tequila
yeah.
doesn't seem to be a drink typically that you would associate with spicy.
Well,
Vodka.
what's surprising is over the last 10 years or so, there's so many studies done about liquor and cocktails. Today, 1 in every 8 margaritas is made spicy, whether it's with a product like Ghost or they're muddling peppers or jalapenos in the cocktail. We are in the age of spicy cocktails. 1 out of 8 doesn't sound a lot, but when you think about it, the margarita is the most popular cocktail in the world.
Is that right?
Not in the United
Wow.
States.
I know that.
The
Yeah.
margarita is the most popular cocktail in the world, and when you think about that, 1 out of every 8 is being served spicy.
Damn.
Wow.
There's a lot of money in that business.
Who's
you know?
collecting those statistics exactly? Is there a bureau?
There are
of
different. There's different.
margarita?
No, there's the margarita company.
I
No,
am.
there's different.
Bacardi.
No. I
You're
am.
collecting that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do a lot of research.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
All
different
right.
consumer food and beverage companies that do those studies, and then organizations like mine can review those reports or pay them for
Okay.
yada yada yada. It's so boring. It's not even worth talking
So
about.
you were the guy. You remember that Fireball whiskey? That was a company that started out like you heard of it once.
Yeah.
And then suddenly it was gradually it was everywhere.
Yeah.
And I read that you were the guy who was the person behind that. That you were the person who took this company, this Fireball whiskey, which was like made with cinnamon or something.
It's a cinnamon Canadian whiskey.
Yeah.
Yeah, cinnamon flavored.
Cinnamon's a flavor in Canada. Canadian is a country. You're talking about. So
This is true.
Canada is not a flavor now, is it?
No.
Okay. So it was
Canada would taste
it
like
was a
maple syrup.
cinnamon-
I assume.
It was a cinnamon whiskey that's made in Canada.
Correct.
Now, is this a true story that you are the person who actually put this thing on the map?
Yeah. So let me clarify. Yes and no.
Wow.
I was the face of Fireball Whiskey. I was the national brand ambassador. I did all the social media. I was the guy who would bar hop around the country and plan events and talk to people and shake hands. There was a team. I was not a lone wolf. There were people who helped. There were social media people and sales people and very smart marketing people. But I am the one who is recognized. They called me the Fireball guy because I was the man on the street. I was the guy face-to-face with the consumers. But I have to give credit where it's due. There were other people involved with the company. But because I was the quote-unquote first national brand ambassador, my face is in the Bloomberg articles and the Forbes articles and the CNN stuff. So I have to give credit to everyone else who worked on that brand. But
You were the face.
I was the face.
That's
The face
big.
of
That's big.
Fireball.
Okay.
That's awesome,
I
man.
love that
Yeah.
name.
I was the
Yeah.
face of Fireball.
Yeah.
That could be the name of your first book
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
record.
Yeah.
I'm stealing
So-
it from a
Fireball guy.
poetry
So,
book. Yes.
so then I guess something went wrong there because you left that and started this yourself. This is your own company.
Nothing went wrong. It just
Well,
kind of.
why didn't you stay there? Why didn't they cut you in? Are you a part owner of Fireball?
No. I was an employee.
Okay, but
well, it's
why
just,
didn't they take care of you if you did all that?
Oh, I made money. I made a salary. It was, when you work for a company, they own the intellectual property and they pay you what they want to pay you, and it's all good. I mean, I'm an artist. I'm an idea man. I'm not a businessman or a salesman. So essentially what happens is, you build a consumer product, especially in liquor, and eventually liquor plateaus. Traditionally, most liquor products plateau, beer too. You get to a point where it's just maintenance. So a brand like Fireball or even Ghost, there are people who are involved in the building of the brand and the creative and the design and the brand ambassadors and blah, blah, blah. And you get to a point where you don't really need those people anymore. The sales start to plateau, and then you just need salespeople to maintain. It's not a bad thing. That's just how it works. So there's a time when people like me pass that baton, and it's like, good luck. Now all you have to do is sell this product. The brand is set in stone. See you later. You don't really need a really creative person to rebrand.
Are you serious? I mean, look at all these continual campaigns they have for Budweiser and
Sure.
and
Maintenance.
like they're always coming up with the whole new look. Isn't that sort of what you're good at?
Yeah, that is true.
Couldn't you do that? Can you
Yeah.
reinvent Budweiser constantly?
But you
or-
don't need to reinvent Budweiser every 6 months or every year. You can reinvent Budweiser every 20 years.
It seems like there's continually a new campaign.
Well, you're talking about ad campaigns, right? And
that's a different thing.
That's a different beast
okay.
from brand design. I mean, we
okay.
can really get into the nitty-gritty of this. But then there's a whole different crew of people who do ad campaigns versus me, which is brand, voice, and tone and that kind of thing.
So now
you know what
we're
I mean?
into the
so
sort
I'm
of
foundation.
finer points.
Right. So I'm like foundation. I create the brand, and
Right.
then I say, okay, ad team, come up with how we're, come up
Yeah.
with the
How
call
you
to action and the
display
selling.
that and how you promote that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And
So
it
how
gets,
did you
it gets
come
really
up with this?
nitty-gritty.
Did someone else come up with this and you liked it and decided to turn it into something, or did you invent it?
So after Fireball, because my name was out there in Bloomberg, I had a lot of great articles written about my work with Fireball. I was very thankful and grateful for that. I got pitched all kinds of weird ideas. People would come to me with the weirdest liquor ideas because they wanted me to join their team, and they
What
were
were
like,
they? Can you
were like,
remember?
yeah. So because they were like, oh, the Fireball guy can sell anything, and so King Cake vodka.
Which is a thing.
Which is a thing now.
That's a
yeah.
Taka vodka.
Yeah. Well, okay. So there was a
Is it?
guy who came up with the idea before, and then Taka basically said, "Well, we can make this for cheaper." So that's a different story
So
altogether.
they
but-
stole it off the King Cake vodka guy?
right. And the first guy came to me and asked me if I'd be interested in joining the company, and then. Weed flavored gin or like hemp
Get
flavored
into it.
gin.
Get into it.
And then
flavored gin.
Yeah.
Gin that tastes like pot.
yeah, and
That's a good idea.
That's going to blow up, man.
That's-
Go to Colorado.
I have
There's
maybe
no pot in
years
it.
from now, but it's But anyway,
But
so
there's no actual weed in there.
Yeah.
you know what?
drink,
I
isn't
don't
it?
know. I
Just
stopped
tastes
listening.
like
I don't even remember. I don't even care. I mean,
just
it's
get crunk.
so. I mean, the thing that I told these people is like I can really only work on brands that I would actually drink the product, right? And
Okay.
these crazy, wacky ideas were just too left field, and they were novelty. They didn't have a lot of staying power. So this guy, Chris, my business partner, Chris Moran, lived in Boston, and he was working for a tequila bar. And what he realized is you had all these people who came to tequila bars but didn't order tequila. They were getting vodka soda, right? And so what he realized, and what we realized after kind of dipping our toe in this, was everybody has a terrible tequila story from college or spring break.
Right.
They had too much tequila, and now as an adult, they smell or taste tequila, and they go, ugh. They get that nasty. Or somebody
That's
says,
true.
hey, we're going to order Patron or Cuervo, and everybody groans. It's like, oh, I'll do it because it's your birthday, but I really don't want to. So he sat down, and Chris is the one who came up with the actual idea for the product, and he said, well, what if we can make a tequila for the non-tequila drinker, or tequila that both the non-tequila drinker and the tequila drinker can equally enjoy? So that's where the idea of the spice, and there's a little bit of sweetness in there too. It's something that you can shoot, and it's something that you can put in a cocktail. You can make margaritas, Bloody Marias. You can take a lot of classic cocktails and make them spicy versions. You can take a Moscow Mule and make it a spicy Mexican Mule, and so on and so on. So we sat down and we said, you know, if we're going to do this, we want to make a damn good tequila, but we have to make something that's approachable for the everyman and not just this extremely expensive mezcal that's going to sit on the top shelf and 4 people are going to drink it.
Yeah.
So we wanted to make something that was approachable.
Yeah.
And from a marketing perspective, take a page out of Fireball's book where not everybody loves whiskey, but everybody can drink Fireball. And not everybody loves tequila, but everybody can drink Ghost. It's much more palatable. But from a product standpoint, I can't really compare it to Fireball. Fireball sugar water. This is 100% Blanco agave tequila. You know, it doesn't get any more high quality than this. So
What a great pitch! I have to give you that.
Oh,
Nice
thank you.
job.
I've done this.
Excellent.
I've done this 100. All my entire day is just repeating this story.
That is amazing. And what are you thinking while you're saying that? You're looking at us and you.
Oh, I'm miles away.
Are you thinking
I'm
about
just on
something
I'm
else?
on autopilot.
You're thinking about what's for dinner and what you're doing tonight?
Yeah, I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. No, I'm kidding.
It's pretty impressive, that pitch. I thought it was great. Didn't
thank
you?
you.
I feel like
I have to
I'm
say
going to
it-
go get a bottle.
Yeah.
Even
Yeah,
Julie's
I'm
thinking
impressed.
about
I have to say
going
it to
back on.
investors. I have to say that
on
pitch
the
to
wagon.
investors constantly, day in and day out. You know, investors, salespeople.
So you're
distributors,
looking
and-
for people to invest in this?
We're kind of past that point. We have a lot of investors. If
Right.
anybody is listening and seriously wants to invest in a liquor company, yeah, absolutely, come my way. But the investor portion has been like the last 2 years of this business.
that's
now
cool.
now
Okay.
we're actually in the market and selling,
Right.
and, distributing. So,
Cool.
yeah, exciting times. We just 2 weeks ago, we were in on the front page of Bloomberg on their website, and then last week we were on CNN. And then last Friday, we won Best Cocktail at the Top Taco, the first taco festival competition.
And
so we're kind of riding a wave right now.
How do you pull this sort of thing off? How do you do that? How do you get on Bloomberg and CNN? Is that you?
Yeah, I mean,
So you're the guy. So you can sell anything, probably. I would
what I'm
say,
told.
judging by that.
That's what I'm. Well, you know, being an actor, that helps a lot. When you
So one of the
you do
things you said
theater
is-
is selling.
One of the things you said as part of that pitch is, I'm not a salesman.
It's true.
Is that sort of the disarming
that's bullshit.
disclaimer? Yeah.
Look, I'm a hustler.
Yeah.
It's a little bait and switch. You know.
So you are a great salesman.
I
in a
guess
way.
so.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
That's the key to the whole thing.
Fine.
Right.
You caught me.
But
yeah.
you do have to believe in the product. That's what
Yeah,
you're saying.
yeah.
You
Well,
have to believe in what you're saying,
And
even if it is pretty fast talking.
Exactly. Well, and
It's true in this case.
No, you're right.
So
yeah.
who makes this 100% agave
So
tequila
we
we're
make
talking
it at my business
You
partner.
have
and I,
your
we,
own
we own the
distillery or
So this
whatever it's
is
called.
so this is where it gets complicated, and it's important to be transparent in these things. My business partner and I, we own the recipe. The company owns the recipe, but we make it at a small family-owned distillery in Mexico. And
Okay.
from our perspective, you have these big liquor companies like Bacardi and Diageo and blah blah blah, and they can afford to own their distilleries. Somebody like us, it doesn't make sense to do that. It makes more sense for us to. A distillery is like a contractor. We go down there. We go down to Mexico and we talk to 5 different, distilleries, and we pick the
Well,
best one.
Everybody's doing this. This is how
Yeah.
the Whole Foods have a Whole Food
absolutely.
brand.
And
or,
it's white labeling, right?
yeah. So someone's making tequila that you really like.
Yes, exactly.
And you tell
But we
them to make it
oversee
to
it.
your specifications.
We give them the recipe.
Put this ghost.
Exactly. We
taste
oversee
in
it.
it. Right,
We make
okay.
sure it comes out to our.
That makes perfect sense.
How do
Yeah.
you develop the recipe? How do you yourself distill in your room?
A lot of back and forth. So yeah, I mean, so basically, Chris had the idea.
Yeah.
But what happens is making one drink, taking all these ingredients, and making one drink is so different than batching and making 3,000, gallons at a time. So what you have to do is you have to reverse engineer the formula, right? You have to figure out how to take it from one cocktail to. So what we did is we hired a consultant who knew his way around this, and we said, here's the recipe. Can you figure out the formula to get it to this level? And what's funny is the guy's actually an MIT chemist. So he's approaching it not necessarily from an alcohol perspective. He's approaching it from a chemistry, which is actually better.
Yeah.
You can go to a distillery, but the distillery is just going to make it to your specifications. So it's like, okay, MIT chemist, can you figure out the best way to formulate this? You take that formula to the distillery, and then you go back and forth. And it's like it's working with architects or working with carpenters or working with any kind of contractor. It's like, no, it's not right. Let's do it again. No, it's not. And then you look at it on a spectrum. It's too spicy. It's too sweet. And you just hone and hone and hone till you get to that sweet spot that everybody really likes. And it's a
really
long
enjoy
process.
that. Yeah.
It's fun.
You would love that you could do that, John. As your
Well, I mean,
You have to
I
drink.
guess-
You have to
off
taste
hours.
a lot of
Absolutely.
tequila.
But I guess the question that I have is how do you, so from the idea,
Yeah.
I'm going to make a spicy tequila. How do you then develop a recipe? You know what I mean? Like how do you get to?
Weren't you paying attention?
So
no. But
I get what
you know
you're saying. Yeah. So I
Yeah.
mean, the short story is, I mean, so when Chris was working in this bar, ghost peppers are very trendy right now.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, we're in the age of spicy food and beverage, and ghost peppers especially are being used in a lot of things. So his thought process was, okay, cool. So I want to make something that's palatable. What do people like right now? Part of it's like a flavor profile thing, but part of it's also business strategy. Like we know spice is in right now. You know, we know tequila is making a comeback. We know people like a little bit of sweet in their drinks because it makes it more palatable. So his thought process was, well, on the Venn diagram, where do all these things line up?
Yeah.
And he's a mixologist, right?
Okay.
So I know the liquor business, but he knows the actual
Liquor.
making the And so he's just a smart guy. And so the answer that I have for you is he's a smart dude, and he knew what he was doing.
Cool.
He put all these ingredients together. He basically made a cocktail.
Yeah.
And from that, he thought at first he was just going to sell this cocktail at this bar, and people liked it so much. People were coming in, and other bars were ripping it off in the area.
Nice.
And he said, "Okay, there's something more here."
Yeah.
So I have to. He's
That's
the guy.
a good story right there, even if it's not true.
It is true.
It is
We like
true.
to, from a marketing perspective, we like to say Ghost was born in a bar, not a boardroom, because a lot of these big liquor
Another good
companies.
one.
Yeah, a lot of these big liquor companies just brainstorm this stuff in a bar, like, "Ooh, we should make M&M flavored rum," and it's like it's just executives sitting in a room, not really understanding what people want to drink. They're
That
doing
is a good idea, though.
You know,
M&M flavored rum.
That sounds disgusting.
Doesn't it sound great?
That was for some reason that's the first thing that popped into my
What
head.
about for kids?
Yes,
That's a sort of a New
Exactly.
Orleans drink for
For the
12-year-olds.
Yeah, get them
I
It's like the Camel cigarettes.
As a liquor brand owner, I am legally not allowed to say that I'm okay with that because I will get in
You
trouble.
get in trouble for that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Yeah, so
you didn't
can
say it. I
Yeah.
said it. I didn't say it. So before we get out of here, John, tell us where can we get the cassette?
Yeah, so we
If we're
are
crazy
we are,
enough to buy a cassette.
Right. We are dropping a single this Friday, which is the snippet that you heard. It will be available on Spotify and iTunes and Amazon and all that good stuff.
Okay.
You
And
can
the name of the
also-
band is Cardinal Sons.
Cardinal
S-O-N-S.
Sons,
And
correct.
it's not the record that says Cardinal Sons make an EP.
No,
which
this
I
is
thought
a new
was a
one.
great title for an EP.
Yeah, my little brother Dave's great idea.
But that was the old one. And
that's the old
this
one.
is called what?
This is just a single.
Just a single
and
called
we're
Magnolia.
referring Yeah, so Magnolia is the name of the song. The other
Okay.
song is called "Stuck in New Jack City," which is in reference to Jackson, where we're from.
Ah.
So both Mississippi.
And that's the
reference.
B-side.
That's the bit. Well, technically
Of the cassette.
Magnolia is the B-side, but we're releasing it first.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, because we have a video for "Stuck in New Jack City" that we're going to release.
Shit, do you have some sort of
Yeah.
management or
Yeah,
marketing
yeah.
advice? Because this is really complicated.
It's all me,
It's
man.
crazy.
It's all-
We played the.
I have a great recipe.
It doesn't matter. you need to get hooked
music-
up with Richard
As-
Pomes.
Yeah,
As much as I know about marketing tequila and liquor, the music industry scares me. I have friends
Oh,
who
dude.
do marketing for that, and it
Me
just
too.
sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah.
I bet it's the same technique you could apply to it.
Oh, I
though.
don't know.
You
Maybe
could take the
It's-
song.
I'm sure there's a lot in common, but
Yeah. It's I mean, basically what you need to know is that 17-year-old girls control the industry.
yeah.
So if you can make something that 17-year-old girls can like and pay for $100 festival tickets
Yeah.
for, then yeah, you got it.
25-year-old girls control the liquor industry.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, there you go.
What happened to
Yeah.
those 8 years in the middle? Is that the poetry industry?
Yeah, maybe so.
Definitely.
There is actually a literary magazine called Mackinac Review that, for its featured poets, they come up with cocktails to drink while you read the poems, and they have a playlist on Spotify to go with,
that's
to
Oh, I
go
think
with the
we're
poems.
this is gold
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah,
So the
it's
three of
like
you could
all
get
three-
together.
Yeah, we could.
Well, what about it? We got to get out
We
of here
could
now, but
team
you guys
up.
could stay here
Yeah.
and come up with. I bet you Richard could figure this out.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
So we come up with
Yeah.
a poetry book that comes with a cocktail list and a
Yep.
playlist.
And a playlist.
Yeah, I like this.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
excellent.
That's cool.
Genius.
I'm down.
Yeah.
Well, why don't we already have the poetry book? It's just out.
We've got all three.
What
We're
is your
just
book
ready to
called
go.
again? It's Paper
The
Bullets.
latest one, Paper Bullets.
And what a great
Yeah.
title, by
I
the
know,
way.
I like that. Yeah.
Paper Bullets. And then you could
Sounds like
market
a
that
band.
with the
Paper
cocktail
Bullet sounds
That's
like
a
a band
band,
name.
totally.
Yeah.
right there.
Indie band.
Okay. What a great way to end the show. I think we've really got something.
Yeah.
If this all works out, Happy Hour gets 10%, okay?
All
Cool.
right.
Excellent.
All right.
All right.
You got that? Asher? Right. We've got
Can
that
I,
on
can I
tape.
make 2 quick plugs?
Yes.
Do you mind? The NOLA Project, my theater company, is doing a family-friendly kids show in May at NOMA in the Sculpture Garden at the New Orleans Museum of Art. It's going to be great. Bring the kids, bring the little ones. You can get tickets at nolaproject.com. And then can I tell people where they can find Ghost?
Yes.
Is that okay?
Totally. Right. Anything's okay.
Excellent. So we're in about close to 100 bars in the greater New Orleans area. And retail, you can pick it up at Bromart, Dornax, Rouse's, Ilio's on Claiborne. So
how much are we paying for a bottle of Ghost?
Bottle here in New Orleans, it varies city to city. Bottle here in New Orleans is going to be somewhere around $24.99. So it's in terms of tequila, we're a really good price point. We're going to come in a lot cheaper than the big guys.
Okay.
So
and it's good.
Thank you.
It is good.
Did you like it, John?
Yeah, speaking of which.
What about an endorsement?
Here's
to it, ladies and
We're going to
gentlemen.
do another shot.
Thank you so much.
Cheers.
That's
I'll
it.
get another one for you guys if you want it.
Okay. That's happy
Cheers.
hour for another day. That was Richard Pomes, who's the...
Pomes, yeah.
Pomes.
Very good. You're much closer than most people are.
Really?
Perfect.
Well, that's great. And I've only had 2 shots of it.
Excellent.
Richard Pomes is the man behind Ghost Tequila. Julie Kane is the poet behind the book called Paper Bullets. And John Shirley is the guy behind the song called Magnolia or New Jack City. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Stuck in New Jack City.
Stuck in New Jack City from the band The Cardinal Sons, which is SONS, which of course is a literary reference because they're all sons of the same parents and they're all brothers. And say hi to your oldest brother for us
I will.
too.
Yeah, for sure.
And thanks to the Basic Swim and Gym who made the show possible. If you'd like to get yourself a bikini or a cover-up or a one-piece, go down to Basic Swim and Gym at Sector Basics Lingerie on Magazine Street. And more importantly, for this show, thanks to Hangover Destroyer, the only all-natural product medically proven to prevent a hangover. If you go to their website, hangoverdestroyer.com.
Perfect.
Oh, no, it's not. It's called hdestroyer.com. That's what happens after you have a few of these.
Yeah.
When you write happy hour on the coupon code, you can get 30% off of your order of Hangover Destroyer. And you too can seize the dawn. Thank you so much for joining us. That's been Happy Hour for another week. The producer of our show is Graham DePonte. Christian Unruh is our music director, and Jean Valois is our music producer. Our technical director is Thomas Walsh, and our live feed director, who made it possible for you to watch half of the show today on Facebook Live, is Asher Griffith. Our theme music was written by and is currently being played by Mitch Foreman. If you'd like to be on our show and you can stay upright for about an hour while you sit around and drink free drinks, drop us a line. Our address is on our website. It's neworleans.com. We can also find many other hours of Happy Hour to listen to, as well as some other shows we make here, including Out to Lunch with Peter Raschuti, live from Commander's Palace, True to the Game with Chris True, Midnight Menu with Margot Moss, the man who ate New Orleans, Ray Canada, Louisiana Eats with Poppy Tucker, and so much more, including the incredible Psych Ward with Dr. Ross Shields. You can find other great Louisiana podcasts as well at itsacadiana.com and itsbatonrouge.la. You can keep up with us on Facebook and on Twitter and a bunch of other time-sucking social media as well. And all of it we call It's New Orleans. You can find photos from this show on itsneworleans.com and on our Facebook page. These photos are taken by the fabulous Alison Moon. If you're listening to this on your favorite podcast app, thank you for subscribing to us. Take a moment, if you can, to stop everything and rate and review us. That helps other people find us. Our show is recorded live today at Wayfare on Ferret Street in Uptown New Orleans, where they have a fantastic happy hour here for 3 hours every single day, and brunch on the weekends. Happy Hour is a production of INO Broadcasting for itsneworleans.com. Andrew Duhon is making an album in Nashville, I believe, so look out for that. It's called Welcome to My World, or possibly It's Okay, Johnette, Just Stay Where You Are, or something like that. So thank you on behalf of Andrew, who can't be here, and everyone else around the table at Wayfare here and back at our office at INO Broadcasting. Thanks for joining us. I'm Grant Morris. I'll see you back here next week at Wayfare for more Happy Hour.
Hear that? That's the sweet sound of Minute Maid slushies at McDonald's, turning up your summer with every sip, slurp, and ah.
Get a small sweet peach, blue raspberry, or fruit punch slushie for just $2. Or get any size soft drink for $1. Price and participation may vary. Limited time only. Cannot be combined with combo meal.